Sonic the Hedgehog, the latest video game adaptation, sees the titular hedgehog on the run when he accidentally causes a blackout. The government sends the wacky and zany Dr. Robotnik to chase him down and figure out what Sonic is. Firstly, Sonic the Hedgehog is a children's movie. That means that there's a very specific audience that will love everything about this film, from the colourful cartoonish characters, the simplistic plot and the childish humour. That does, however, mean that older audiences, like those of the original video games, will have less to like. Because of its focus on the younger audience, the plot of Sonic the Hedgehog is very basic and predictable. It doesn't try to do much of anything unique or interesting. It's a simple case of Sonic has a quest, Robotnik is trying to stop him. It's actually a little reminiscent of E.T. the Extraterrestrial. One of the issues with the film is that the film doesn't know what the main priority should be. At times it's trying to adapt a video game, at other times it's trying to be a film. Doing both doesn't work so well, especially when you inevitably lose the interactivity of the video game. There are references and homages to the video game series that fans will appreciate, but this is not the first great video game adaptation, although it's significantly better than most of the previous ones. The biggest issue with the film is the comedy. The comedy has the hard task of appealing to audiences of all ages. However, there are references and remarks that are dated, meaning younger audiences won't get them and older audiences will find them cringeworthy. Mixed in with those are classic tired fart jokes and even jokes that are specific to the American audience. For example, there is a recurring joke about the Olive Garden, something that only exists in the United States and therefore means nothing to anyone outside of that country. Sonic as the main character is annoying, but intentionally so. There's a childlike element to him that makes him endearing and likeable though, plus the voice acting is good too. However, the CGI used to create Sonic isn't good. The character rarely looks real or believable. In most of his scenes, he looks like a character has been painted onto the screen, never seamlessly interacting with the environment or characters. Other CGI and special effects in the film are quite impressive though. The various drones and gadgets from Dr. Robotnik are convincing, as are the explosions and the action scenes. Although there's one action scene that's stolen from a popular superhero franchise, it's egregious, and what makes it worse is that this depiction of that scene isn't anywhere near as good as the original. James Marsden plays the sidekick character, arguably even the main character of the film. He's a cop and an everyman, helping Sonic on his quest while realizing some things about his own life. He's a very likeable and relatable character, but also a little bit goofy and bland. The character is presented as being so much of an everyman that there's little interesting about him. Then there's Jim Carrey as Robotnik. He's clearly having fun playing the villainous character, often coming across as more of a cartoon than Sonic himself. The problem is that despite how much fun he is having, a lot of his jokes don't land, and because he is so villainous, a lot of his humour makes him come across as a dick, making him less likeable and less funny. Sonic the Hedgehog is an admirable video game adaptation that younger audiences will probably love, but there's little there that older audiences will latch onto. If you like this review, subscribe to my channel to get more content like this and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at @the_Grant Burton.